Hi, and welcome to the Handbag Designer 101 podcast with your host, Emily Blumenthal, handbag designer expert and handbag fairy godmother, where we cover everything about handbags from making, marketing, designing, and talking to handbag designers and industry experts about what it takes to make a successful handbag. Hi, Jada. Welcome to the Handbag Designer 101 podcast. We are so excited to have you on board. You are Jada Holmes of
Afropuff Jada.
Jada. Okay. So listen, we've been following you for a long time. You've clearly been able to make a splash with an out-of-the-box hook of handbags. I know you've done a ton of press. You've been found. People follow you. We're one of them. But I love to start at the nitty-gritty, the backstory, how and the why. Are you turning this into things that are selling? Because now you have this gigantic platform because you are clearly fabulous. So what's your story? Where are you from? Where are you right now?
I'm at home. Actually, I'm from Richmond, California. So I've lived here all my life. So
okay, so you're from Richmond. When did you start developing this affinity for whoa, handbags, but anything can be a handbag, and then we can work backwards?
I want to say around 2020.
The pandemic did it for you, huh?
Yes, I was stuck in the house. I was like, let me make TikTok. So I just started doing comedy TikTok skits with my mom. And then everybody started pointing out my clothes. And I'm like, that's what I'm not trying to get across here. I'm trying to get across that the video is funny. But they started oh, where did you get that top from? Where did you get the sneakers from? And little things like that. And that's when they started noticing my purses. But I wasn't making them yet. I was actually buying them.
Right.
Buying, novelty purses online.
Right.
Then it got to the point where I couldn't find any more purses to match my outfit. So that's when I literally had just came from the store and bought a bottle of ranch. And I'm like, that matches perfectly with my outfit. And that's when I threw a scrap on it and I bedazzled it. So it just went from there.
Were you in design prior to that?
Not at all. I just put outfits together and that's pretty much it.
So did you go to college for anything specific?
I went for English, which has, nothing to do with what I'm doing now, but yeah, English.
So did you grow up putting your outfits together and all that good stuff? Did you grow up creative? Were you one of those people where if you spoke to your parents or your grandparents, they'd be like, oh, she was always so creative. I'm not surprised by any of this.
Yes. I always had to have my outfit down packed wherever I went. Even if I'm late, I have to have the outfit, looking right. So I really took a lot of pride in that.
Did that come from someone in your family?
No, because they really just we're playing stuff a lot. And see, I like to just stand out. So I was down the exact opposite. So I don't know where it came from.
What number child are you? I need to know.
I'm the youngest.
Aha. Of how many?
Of 3.
And what's the age gap between you and number one?
Literally 20 years.
So there you go.
Oh, they're all older, way older. So it's kind of like I'm the only child in a way because they're all out.
Right.
And it was always me and my parents by myself because they were literally grown when they had me. So I came way later.
And tired.
Yes.
So, I call that the Jesus of the family because you pretty much walk on water. Everything you do is amazing. Everything is interesting. And you have this born into a platform where you could do basically whatever you want and no one's going to tell you no.
Yes. Thank you.
So was that really the case that you were like, hey, let me try this. Hey, let me try that. And everyone was like, oh, that's just Jada. That's just Jada.
Yeah. They just already knew, just go along with it. Just
nobody had, right. No one had it in them to be like, oh, what is she doing? It was like, oh, yeah, look at Jada. That's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of, it just became normal at a certain point.
So you started taking pride in how you dressed and how you looked. Were handbags anything of interest, or it was like, that's cute, let me add a bag to my ensemble, and that helped tell the story?
It was kind of I needed to take my outfits up a notch. I already had the outfits together, but it's I need to be carrying something that's going to really make me stand out.
Right.
And that's when I started to look at handbags and okay, I need accessories now.
How old were you when that started?
I was around 21.
Oh, you were older.
Yes. So the handbags didn't start literally until a couple years ago.
So going to school, would you carry a backpack and a crossbody bag that was cool? Were you one of those people? Your school bag and you had your
my hand.
Really?
Literally because I was homeschooled. I went to an alternative school actually, so I only went in a couple times a week. And it was just to turn in my homework. So I just had my homework in my hand. I had my outfit, everything. I would wear glitter everywhere. I don't know how they let me get away with that. Glitter was just everywhere in the classroom. And I would just turn my work in, meet with my teacher for an hour, and then literally just go home.
So did your older siblings, were they homeschooled?
No,
Aha. So the landscape was set for you already.
Yes, yes.
That's epic. Wow. So you were like an early adopter with homeschool. Like while everyone else was working from home, you're like, ha, 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 I've been doing this for years. That's cute.
Yes, yes.
Wow. That's cool. So you were home. So you obviously had time to think about how and what you were going to wear and what you were going to look. And you didn't have to rush to get ready. So you always had this opportunity to like take a different angle, right?
Yes, yes.
So did you ever have a backpack?
Yeah, I did have a backpack actually. Yeah, it was just literally just from Target. I decided to pick like the brightest one I could find, but
Right.
that's about it with that. And I did like Justice a lot. They had like the matching backpack, lunch pail, the binder, everything to go with it. Even though I didn't eat lunch, but I still sometimes carried it just to have, and I would kind of just spread it out across the table. Yeah. Even though I was there for an hour, I just had to still make my statement.
You had to make an entrance.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy. Oh, you still live at home, yeah?
Yes.
I see the environment. That's not my home. That's other people's homes because I have a feeling if it was your home, the walls would be a different color.
Oh, most definitely. I painted my walls. I think it was pink at one point. Then it was a neon pink. So yeah, then I just had to change it back to white to calm it down a little bit. But
yeah, it's like only so long that you could do that, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's crazy. So by the time the pandemic hit, were you done with college?
Actually, I dropped out. I don't really want to, yeah, because I was at UC Davis.
Wow.
Yeah, I got accepted to every college I applied to except UC Berkeley. They wouldn't let me in for some reason.
Whatever, you don't need them. You don't need them.
So I got into Davis. So I was at Davis for about, I want to say, literally a week. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Because I didn't have time to like embrace my creative side because I was so busy with schoolwork. And I'm like, I'm going to transfer out to a community college. And that's what I did. So
you went from Davis to community college?
Yes.
That's
like
epic.
Yes.
Wow. What did your family say? Were they like, oh, it's just Jada. It's okay. I'm sure she'll figure it out.
Yeah, because they were, at the time I was doing music. I was making music at the time. I was supposed to be on this TV show. I don't know, called The Rap Gang. They called me. But everybody always thinks I'm younger than what I'm actually is. So
on it.
Yes. My mom called and they were like, just to verify my age. They were like, oh, she's actually too old for, but they thought I was younger. So I'm like, wow, like that literally could have been my shot. But,
wow,
come to find out years later, that wasn't for me. And that's when I started to take more in the creative aspect, like with my outfit and my person.
Were you gutted? Were you destroyed? That must have ruined you. You were like, oh,
yeah, I thought it was over. I literally cried once she got off the phone. I was like, what am I going to do now? So.
Isn't that the wildest feeling? Like, how old were you? 22 or something, or 19?
I think I was like about 18.
So you were already too old, and therefore at that time at 18, you felt like your life was done, right?
Yeah. But I did music all my life, literally like.
What did you do?
Oh, I was a rapper. I used to do music videos. Like, even when my birthdays came around and, they were asking me what would I want, I'm like, I need a music video. And then I would like convince my parents to hire a production crew and just spend all this money. Yeah.
Let me ask you, what do your older two siblings do?
Well, my brother, he operates, like, he fixes computers and stuff like that. So he's in that aspect.
Stable, responsible. Okay.
Yes. Well, my oldest brother, he's a deliver packages and stuff.
Stable, responsible. Right.
Yes. And my sister, she works at the Social Security office. Yes.
So in conclusion, none of your siblings were gifted music videos for their birthdays.
No. It was just a cake, dinner, and you might get a gift, you might not. But that's how it went.
Wow. It's so funny. You hear these interviews where they talk about siblings and saying, how could we be so different because we grew up in the same home? But it's like, technically, it's a whole different life because where your parents are, what's going on with your home, socioeconomically, relationship-wise, like it's a totally different life, right?
Yes.
Like you're related to them, but that's wild. And obviously you had the balls and the confidence to put yourself out there because even going back to your feed and how you pose and the looks on your face, it's like you can't fake that confidence. I mean, I'm sure on the inside you're kind of like, but then, up and you're like, hey, wow, that's amazing. So, okay, you drop out, you go from UC Davis to community college where most people would go the other way.
Yeah.
And what were you doing at the community college?
Well, actually at Davis, I was trying to become an ophthalmologist. So I was in that field.
Responsible, right?
Yes. Then I went to English because I love English. That's the main thing I worked on in homeschool because my teacher was an English major. So we didn't even care about math. It was just all about English. So
wow.
That's what I did at community college. And I did that. I'm almost done with getting my degree, but I had to put it on pause because my purses started to take over and I couldn't handle the classes and the purses. So I'm like, I'm going to have to put this on pause for a minute, but I'm going to pick it up at some point and get that degree. So
yeah, it's not going anywhere, right? Okay, so you put it on pause. The pandemic happens. It's so funny because everybody technically was stuck at home, but for you, it was just a regular day. So you were able to look at this from a totally different landscape, right? The optics of everybody else's situation was totally different from yours. You're acting so professional right now. Relax, it's us.
Okay.
No, this is a conversation. This is such a conversation. You know, like, look, this podcast was started to inspire handbag designers to show people, you know, with handbags, it's the lowest barrier to entry to start out of any angle of fashion, right? Like for hats, you need to understand how to work with buckram. It's a totally different material. There's so much math involved with shoes. I mean, that in itself is mathematic, unless you're going to do a gladiator. And apparel, it's all different sizes. Like handbags are the least judgmental item of fashion and also the most profitable. So for someone to go into handbags when they were an aspiring rapper / English major, like that's inspiration. So the reason why I reached out was to obviously have an opportunity for you to tell your story, but also like, damn, like this is special. You couldn't finish school, something that you were able to transfer from a high profile school to a community college. And then it's like you've moved all of your dreams and evolution to something that you've kind of stumbled on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's nuts. So the pandemic starts, everybody's going nuts. You're like, it's just an ordinary day, whatever. Like how and the why and what? Like, where did this all come from? Because I know you've spoken about this before, but talk like freely here.
Well, yeah, just mainly from TikTok because I couldn't get a buzz going on Instagram. So that's when I moved to TikTok. Because, you know, TikTok is kind of be carefree. And, you know, Instagram, I feel like you have to be a little preppy and somewhat, you know,
buttoned up.
I'm like, that's not me. So that's when I went to TikTok and Did you figure out TikTok really fast? Because, you know, at least with TikTok, even at that stage, like you need production value, you need angles, you need a unique selling point. Were you comfortable? Did you think it took a while for you to find your voice on that? Well, I was off and on because I started TikTok in January of 2020.
Oh, wow.
And I stayed off and I got back on after my birthday. So like end of May.
Right.
And that's when I became consistent. And like in about a month, that's when it really just started taking off.
And what was the origin? Like, were you building a strategy? Were you writing this down? Were you like, okay, I did this date, I did this on that date? Were you looking at it from that? Or were you like, I'm just going to figure it out as I go along?
Figure it out as I go along. I didn't even have my content down packed. Like, it was just all over the place. Like, anything that I would see on the For You page, I'm like, I need to partake in that because that's going viral right now to try to gain some traction to my page. So that's what I would do.
Wow. So it started off with just outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And you needed bags. Were you buying things for your TikToks at this point? Or were you just like,
yes, every time I had a TikTok plan, but once I started gaining followers, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this serious. Because at first I was just like, playing around.
Right.
So my first viral video was a video of me literally throwing rice in the air.
Right.
And I had like painted the rice to have like the Warriors logo because I'm a huge Warriors fan.
Right.
And I threw it in the air and it was like the logo and all that. So that went viral. Everybody ate me up because obviously like they didn't really like the Warriors. So yeah. So I got ate up for that. And then that's when I started going to like pranks on my mom. She'd do pranks on me just back and forth.
Right.
And then the outfits, it was like, where did you get that from? And I'm like, oh, I got it from here.
Right.
Yeah, let me move in that direction with the clothing. And then it branched off to purses.
Did brands reach out to you immediately to start working with you?
No, I don't think I got any brand deals till like 2 years ago, maybe.
Right.
It was right off. No, it took a while.
Was that hard to navigate? Or it was like, hey, sure, yes. Like, when did you realize that you as a personality had value, that you were able to dictate and ask for things and tie all that in to who you were as a brand?
I want to say really like a year ago. Yeah, I would have to say a year ago, because I really didn't want to take any like clothing items or anything that didn't align with my brand.
Right.
So like I only took sponsorships and, stuff like that I actually buy with my own money.
Right.
So it couldn't align, because I want to seem, be authentic.
Yeah.
To mom, I don't want to, be like wearing this and I wouldn't actually wear that. So.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. And that's something tricky to navigate, right? Like,
yes,
all of a sudden you get attention and everyone's like, hey. And you're like, yes. Wait, this isn't authentic. And authenticity, people can sniff it out when you're not, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you start off with a ranch handbag of some description, right?
Yes.
Talk to me about that. Like, okay, now I've got a ranch bag. What? Like, what was the thought? You saw the colors. What was the brand of the ranch, by the way?
Hidden Valley, by the way. Yeah, that's what it was. Hidden Valley, yes.
Have they reached out to you yet?
Actually, they used my photo and posted on their website. So that was exciting.
Right.
So, yes.
Right. So you got a Hidden Valley ranch bag of some description. Then what?
Then I went to making cereal purses.
Right.
Because I was obsessed with cereal at the time.
You're over cereal?
Yeah, I'm past cereal now. But yeah, I was obsessed. I don't know. I have like these moments where I'm obsessed over a certain thing. First it was ranch. Now it's, then it was cereal. So that's when I made a cereal purse and I matched that with my dunks and I took a photo with that. And I was actually afraid to take a photo like with a cereal purse. Yeah, because I didn't know what people would think. And then I just said, let me do it.
Right. Because then you're like, what's the point if I'm not going to just do it?
Yeah, I'm like, I took all this time in making it, so I might as well just go along with it. I have the outfit. I have the shoes. Let's just take the photo and put it out there and see what it does.
So how did you make the cereal bag?
Actually, I took real cereal, which a lot of people didn't agree on. But yeah, I have one right here, actually. This is like the latest one. I don't know if you can
take it back a little. Okay, perfect. So how did you make it?
I took a bowl and I put like resin in it, dyed it white, and then threw a cereal in there and molded it.
Did you
and
know
then I just added a scrap.
Did you know how to do that before?
No, I literally had to go to YouTube on how to do all that. So
that's insane. Has anyone tried to buy it off you?
Well, I have sold a couple in the past because I literally made 100 of these. Yeah, so I did sell some in the past. Yeah.
How come you stopped?
It became overwhelming because it was like I'm still making cereal bowl purses. I'm like, I need to move on. I have to move on and make something different. Like I'm tired of cereal right now. So that's when I just said, I quit. I'm going to do something else. I have to keep it moving. I love to change.
Okay. So then what happened after the cereal?
After the cereal, I think I started doing electronics. And that's when I grabbed my father's TV while he was at work. And I took a photo with that. Because someone had sent me these shorts. I think they were Penny Proud, I would say.
Right.
And I'm like, Penny Proud is like a television show. Like, what's better than having a TV as a purse?
Right.
So that's when I went from there.
So have you noticed, was it a weird thing to realize that people are paying more attention to the bags than the outfit?
Yes.
Did that kind of freak you out a little bit? Like, here I am pushing me as a brand and people want to see the wackadoo bags I'm making?
Yes, because I'm like, okay, really once I did the TV, I'm like, where do you go from doing a TV? Like, what do you do next?
Right.
So I was a little afraid, I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm like, I'm going to have to really think about this one. Do I do a car? Do I do a house? Thinking of what's bigger than the TV? And I'm like, I don't always have to go bigger as long as it's just better.
Right. I'm so intrigued. Did you create a strategy, like a bag strategy of saying, okay, did this, did that, now what? Because the TV is very different than a cereal bag, right?
Yes. I try to do something that people will never think that I'll do.
Right.
Because when I did the TV, they thought, oh, she's going to do a PlayStation, which I did.
I saw that.
She's going to do this. She's on the electronics. So that's when I tried to even with the cereal and the rest, everybody thought I was going to do food items. I'm like, no, I'm going to do a TV. I'm going to switch it up.
Right.
Then after the TV, I went back to food. I did a bag of chips. Then after the chip, I did a toilet. Then after the toilet, I did a fish tank. So then after the fish tank, I did a grill. So I try to always keep people, guessing.
Did any of these brands that you featured other than Hidden Valley follow up with you?
Not any that I could think of right now. Oh, Ruffles.
Lay's did a collaboration with Balenciaga. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Were you like, that was from me?
Yes, a little bit. But I'm like, Jada,
yours was first.
Yeah. I'm like, it's Lay's. You had Ruffles. And I'm like,
what did Ruffles ask from you?
Could they post my picture as well? That's what they asked. And I also did beef jerky jack links.
Right.
They reached out to me and they sent me a package because I turned their beef jerky packages into slides. So yeah.
So, question, did you ever think to make these bags functional, or it was more about a statement piece?
At first, it was a statement piece, and then once I started getting backlash on, can you even use that? Can you even use that? That's when
Isn't that nuts? Like, come on. Like, why do you have all that free time? Clearly, you're intrigued, you know?
Yes. And that's when I ran and I added a little pouch. Well, they call it a pouch. They ate me up again for this. So back of the stereo, and they was like, oh, can you even put anything in it? That's when I have like the video on my TikTok of me turning it around and unzipping it. And they're like, you didn't have that on there at first because we didn't see that. And they were right. But, I'm like,
I mean, but the angle of that is always like, yeah, I didn't. Now I do. So
yes.
Join the party. Like, what's your problem? It's so fascinating because all of this clearly was accidental, right? And with the designers with whom I work, we do a lot of talking about where's your customer, price, product, promotion, and placement. And right in the center is customer. So, you have a giant following, you have eyes on you. Are you looking at this more like strategically, like I have more of an opportunity with my outfits or handbags, or what could I do with this in terms of turnkeying this into me not having to scramble to coming up with outfits every day to like, let me just make this into something that people can actually buy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I struggled with that part a lot. And that's where I kind of like reverted to like more of like seeing it as art.
Right.
Rather than like somebody carrying a TV on their shoulder, because it's really unrealistic.
Right.
Because I get a lot of like, who wants to carry a toilet? And honestly, like, who wants to carry a toilet? Like the toilet was super heavy.
Right.
Like the toilet put me in the hospital. I had to go to the emergency room.
Did you really?
Yes, it cracked my chest right here because I'm picking it up the wrong way. I'm not. Yeah.
The toilet put you in the hospital?
Yes, the toilet tried to end me. Yes.
I mean, literally and physically.
Yes. So I'm never going to toilet again. That was way too heavy.
I mean, let me tell you, to be the person and say like the toilet ended me, the toilet is the death of me. It's funny because usually it's what goes in the toilet, and this was outside the toilet that nearly destroyed you.
Yes.
Wow. So do you have like a strategy queued up in terms of what would be next for you? Like in terms of like, okay, I clearly can't do things because I know on some of the poses your foot is up. And I'm like, well, she's got to do that to offset it because she's going to like crumble otherwise. And I'm breaking half over the damn toilet.
Yes.
So do you have a strategy in terms of like how and, which products have received the best or the most response and therefore we can do something interesting with it?
It would have to be now like the bag. Well, I want to say they're boxes, but as bags that I create, like the oatmeal, the Plan B. So at least that's lightweight. Right. I'm more so on that now, like actually making items and turning it like, like 3D.
Yeah.
Bring it to life. I'm
right.
on that now. So, yeah.
The Plan B one I found fascinating. What inspired you to do that? Because without making a statement, it's making a statement because people have so many issues. Talk to me about that.
I literally made that bag like the day before I took photos with it. I was watching a Lotto video. It was a lyric and it was like, I'll spend that 500 before I ever trap you. And I'm like, that's a little too far. Let's go the Plan B route. Like, we don't want to do all that. Like, like bring it down a little bit. So
Right.
That's when,
Did they reach out to you after that?
No. Julie actually reached out to me. They have like a morning after pill.
Right.
So that's who I'm working with now. And I made a bag for them. So
it's not a real functional bag though, no?
No, it's literally just like a 3D box with a strap on it. Let's put it like that.
Right. Okay. That's so cool. So they reached out to you after?
Yeah, they seen my Plan B video and they was like, oh, we just love that so much. We're an upcoming brand. We would love if we could partner with you and you create one for us. So yeah.
Wow.
That's how I came about.
There must be some sort of poetic justice to that. Did you get a lot of pushback from anybody who was pro anything or anti anything after that?
Yeah, so a couple people came out, after me. My mom, she really didn't want me to do it because she was like, you're going to get canceled. And I'm like, well, I really don't have anything to lose at this point and I have to take risks, so I had to just take a risk.
Yeah, that's nuts. And it's so interesting because, generationally, your mom would never do it, right? An older generation would be like, why would you put yourself out there for judgment, for criticism, for a potential mark on who you are as a brand, right? You are being your own best publicist on a daily basis. And, you have recognized that your unique selling point, your USP of your brand is risk taking, right? Getting people talking. But something like that, it's divisive. So, because people have issues, and that's a whole other conversation. But to stand proud with that, to me, that was really special. Like, that spoke to me a lot in terms of Gen Z. And I hate when people make these blanket statements about, oh, Gen Z this, Gen Z's fluid, Gen Z's that. Like, I think Gen Z is a lot more fearless. And I think a lot more unapologetic. And I think even from a branding perspective, that's what it should be. Because if you look at you're trying to buy a pair of jeans. How many cuts are there, right? It's not a skinny jean anymore. It's not a high-waisted jean. It's not a pencil jean. You could literally buy any kind of denim and technically it's all on brand. It's all on trend. So if everything is theoretically on trend, and even people who dress and go out of their way to look apart, that's technically noise within the market. So you need to do these things to stand out. You need to do these things that are going to get people talking, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was you probably said to your mom, or at least were thinking about it, no, this is my brand. I get people talking.
Yeah, she was terrified of me doing that. And she's like, you want to mess up everything that you worked so hard for? I'm like, Mom, just let me, just take the photo for me,
So your mom is your camera person?
Yes.
Your video person?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's awesome.
Her. So how do you book it with her? Do you have a calendar with her? Do you have a Calendly with her where you're okay, I'm booking you for this time slot?
No, we just go with the flow. I say, Mom, I'm doing a picture this weekend. Can you take my photo? I don't even have to ask anymore. I'm like, Mom, we're doing a photo shoot this weekend. Or she'll come to me and be like, okay, when are you going to take photos? You haven't took one in a while. You need some photos out there. I'm like, Mom, I have to think of something. It's going to come to me. Because I don't believe actually searching, what am I going to do next? I just let it, it'll float into my mind, basically.
Right. Out of all of the outfits and bags you've done, which one was your favorite? Brought you the most joy if you were going to reflect?
It would have to be the toilet one. I don't know why I like that one, even though what it did to me was terrible. But, I'd be down a little bit. I took my time on it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Do you remember the brand of the toilet?
I don't. I just literally went to Home Depot, the website, ordered the toilet, drove to Home Depot, put it in the trunk, and that was just about it. And I just went from there.
Wow. So what did you do with the toilet?
It's actually in my garage because it broke into pieces because when I was doing a photo shoot, a bee was chasing me. Yeah, well, actually, me and my mom was carrying it, so it was already broke because we have stairs. It fell down the stairs all the way to the photo shoot. So we're just arguing. We're like, you let go. And it's okay.
That tracks. That totally tracks.
Yeah, then we got my brother, can you please come up with this toilet in the car? Got it in the car, drove to the location. Got it out. A bee came. I ran because it was already offset because it already had broke. A piece of it broke off from the bottom. That's why in the pictures I'm kind of propping it up with my leg because if I don't, it's going to tip over.
Oh my God.
That ended up happening. It tipped over. So yeah, it's in pieces now. So it's just sitting in the garage in pieces.
Oh my God. That is amazing. That is hilarious. I'm obsessed. That's so funny. So in conclusion, the toilet's just out there.
Yeah, it's just pieces everywhere in the garage.
Can you keep it as a bench? A chair?
I do have the bottom part, but it's offset. So yeah, I tried to glue it back together, but I just have to buy a new one and just make it all over again. But it was so heavy. I think about it, recreating it. I don't know.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So what's next for you? How are you feeling? I mean, you got a lot of attention and this is what you do full time now. That's it, right?
Yes, just this.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, very.
Are the handbags still the core of your outfit? Are you still that's at this point, I see in your signature and everything, that's more of who you are. Are you Afro Puff Jada, the brand kind of thing in terms of partnerships and so forth?
Yeah, kind of so. And I'm I also use my feet because I don't wear shoes. So I kind of try to do a lot of things, with my feet. So I don't buy shoes anymore. So I literally just, when I did the battery first, wrapped the iPhone charger around my ankles and in between my toes. So I'm kind of just I just go out with the flow at this point.
Right. That's amazing. Wow. Well, I can't wait to see what you do next. Are you excited about the future? Are you thinking about it? Are you planning on moving out?
Yes. Yeah, I plan to. Because I want to start I have a YouTube channel, but I want to get back into that. I want to do live streams, kind of go on live, make items and stuff, and just continue to create a process. And yeah, I still have a lot more items that I want to turn into a purse. It's just all about transporting it and how I'm going to get it there because it's huge. But Yeah, so I have like a lot of stuff. It's just like I have to figure out a way to transport these things.
Right. That's crazy. So your mom's your assistant. Is she on the books?
Yes, she's on the yes.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So when do you think you're going to start? Do you have plans, like strategies planned out? Like, okay, for this week, I'm going to do this and this week, I'm going to do that. Or are you still like just going with the flow?
Oh, I have strategies as of now because I kind of don't post as much as I used to post because like now it's a process. Like I'm trying to turn like literally an entire kitchen into a purse. So like I'm in the process of I have to like rent a truck and all that. I might even buy one so I won't have to go through that. So I can just have it right there. So when I want to, do like a bigger item, I can just do it. I don't have to like go through a process for that just so I can get it done quickly.
It's crazy because there was an article in The Atlantic saying that in terms of trends that blanket statement, everybody is buying bags that are reused, right? High-end bags, and then buying those bags, and that's their statement. So the construct of a novelty bag is gone because everybody just still wants a label, and that's why, luxury has such value and is making a comeback, blah, 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 blah. But I always stand firm. Yes, that's the case, but there are more people making novelty products and things that bring joy, bring excitement, get people talking. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. That's what we need post-pandemic. So I think you accidentally filled the box, and I think you should absolutely own this and run with it as long as you have this. I think you've got gigantic opportunities coming for you. Well, that doesn't sound right. Coming your way.
Thank you.
So, Jada, do you have anything else you want to share? Let us know. How can we follow you? How can we find you? What's next? Let us know.
Just know I'm coming with more purses. Definitely. Woo-hoo. I know everybody said I already did everything, but it's still a lot I have to do. And you can follow me, Apple Puff Jada on all my socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Okay. And do you have a website?
No, I don't have a website at the moment, no.
Okay. So if anybody buys anything, it will go through those platforms.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
awesome.
My Instagram DM or my Facebook private message.
Fantastic. Jada, thank you so very much. I hope you enjoyed this. We were so excited. This was exciting.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Listen, people like you are why we do these things. And it's people like you that keep people inspired and keep people going and knowing that, hey, anything's possible if you do it the right way and you recognize you have an audience and you keep them wanting more. So well done and kudos to you, and can't wait to see more what you do. So,
thanks you so much.
Of course. So thank you for being part of the Handbag Designer 101 podcast. Let's keep in touch and have a great day.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate and review and follow us on every single platform at Handbag Designer. Thanks so much. See you next time.